Welcome, everyone, to this briefing brought to you by the Israel Defense and Security Forum, IDSF. It is a great pleasure, as always, to be joined by the founder and chairman of IDSF, Brigadier General Amir Avivi. General, thank you so much for joining today.
My pleasure.
General, there's, of course, always a lot happening in this war. What can you share with us?
Well, we are, moments before the IDF launches its attack on Gaza City. We've seen intensive preparations before. The Air Force is constantly attacking buildings where Hamas put observation posts and bringing this building down. Dozens and dozens of buildings have been destroyed in Gaza City to secure our soldiers when they maneuver. The IDF is also sending explosive APCs into deserted neighborhoods where the Hamas placed elaborate booby traps and improvised explosive devices. And by exploding these APCs, this destroys the whole mechanism of these IEDs, also to secure the soldiers. Reservists have been called and trained. They replaced many of the regular service soldiers that have been sent to Gaza, but we also have reservists in Gaza. And there are fierce attacks of the Air Force in different positions. And I think that in the coming days, we'll see Israel launch the attack. We have seen already around 300,000 Gazans that left Gaza City and moved south to the humanitarian zone. Many will follow. I think that some of the Gazans, only when they'll see the maneuver and they'll see the IDF moving forward, they will get the message and move. But overall, I believe the vast majority will move south. And in the south, Israel made many, many preparations logistically to really sustain the ability to give humanitarian aid to people who are in the humanitarian zone. As all this is happening, we've seen the attack in Qatar that unfortunately wasn't successful as we expected. We wanted to really destroy the whole leadership of Hamas in Qatar, but it seems that there were some problems and they survived. Israel will not give up. I mean, eventually we'll find each one of them. But what we see is the international pressure really, really amounting on Israel. It seems like the West really wants us to lose. But I can say that Israel is standing strong, and thanks to President Trump, that is really backing up Israel. The administration really wants to see a decisive win in this war. So does Israel. We have Marco Rubio visiting now. We visited David City. I got a special invitation, and also the Kotel. And I sent very strong, clear moral messages backing up Israel, not criticizing it for attacking in Qatar, saying that Hamas needs to be eradicated and all the hostages need to come back. So we have the backup of the administration, and this is enough for us to move forward with the plans to eradicate Hamas and release the hostages. It was interesting this week to see an awakening in Europe, huge demonstrations in UK and other places of people who got fed up from radicalism, Islamic radicalism, and are trying to get back their countries and culture. I think this phenomena will grow. In the UK, if they will do today elections, the party of Nigel probably would win the elections against the Labour. The Labour now has been weakened a lot in the polls, and the right is getting stronger because people are fed up from migration. So things are moving in Europe, and we have many friends, but some of the governments that are in place, especially talking about France, Britain, Spain, unfortunately, are not very favorable. But I must say that many others that see the Russian aggression are afraid of Russia going into Europe further. We see Russian drones in Poland. We see maneuvers of Russia near Finland. And all these countries are really relying on Israeli capabilities. So they stay quiet and more on the Israeli side and don't challenge us. So Europe cannot really pass any resolution against us because they need unanimous votes, and there are quite a few countries that support us. As we speak, we are hosting today Meloni's advisors, and we have also a dinner at the Italian ambassador's house today. So we are trying to really educate about these issues and get the support we need from different governments in Europe and beyond. We met with the Indian ambassador, and we saw the first huge economical agreement that the country that belongs to the European economy signs, Israel. We signed a very big economical agreement, and this will impact Israeli economy, which is even through the war, it's very, very strong. Moshe.
General, we have something very important to discuss, but before we get to that, a lot of our viewers want to know about the reports that the Hamas are moving the hostages in Gaza, positioning them in such a way to thwart any attempts of the IDF to take control of the city. Can you comment on that?
We have good intelligence about the hostages, and the way the army is building its plans takes in account the location of the hostages. I don't think this is going to work for Hamas. There's a lot of sensitivity on the Israeli side when it comes to the hostages, and the army will do everything it can with the Shin Bet to really minimize any danger and also move towards releasing them. At the end of the day, it's only by really pressuring Hamas, attacking, destroying them until they completely surrender that we can bring our hostages back. And the faster we do that, the faster we'll get our hostages.
Okay, General, thank you so much, of course, for sharing that. We're going to pause for a moment to share a very special opportunity with all of our viewers. I alluded to this last week, and we're gonna talk about it right now. So, from the very first day of this war, IDSF has really been fighting on all fronts, and I think many people who view these briefings really understand the depth and breadth of all that IDSF has been doing throughout this war. At the moments of the greatest uncertainty of this war in Israel, our leaders like General Avivi have stepped in to provide direction, clarity, and strength, ensuring Israel's mission and Israel's victory. And one of the powerful ways that we do all of this is through these very daily briefings that you're watching right now. We started these briefings on the second day of the war, October 8th, 2023. I remember it very well amongst all of the hecticness of that time. General, you said to me, Moshe, we gotta speak to our community. We gotta get the word out about what is going on. So on October 8th, 2023, we did a war briefing, and then we did one another the next day, and the next day, and the next day. And now, almost 2 years later, tens of thousands of people, policymakers, journalists, community leaders, influencers, tune in to these episodes. These are people who are shaping global opinion, who frame the debates in governments, universities, and the media, and their very own communities. And they turn to us at IDSF in these briefings because we deliver one thing they can't get anywhere else: direct, authoritative insight from Israel's leading military and security experts. In less than 2 years, these briefings have now been watched more than 2.6 million times. That's a big number. 2.6 million moments when our voice broke through the noise of propaganda and distortion. 2.6 million opportunities to make sure the truth, Israel's truth, was heard. To keep all of this going and to do even more, we need and we ask for your partnership right now. This has been a very long war. It has tested us. And I know that for many people, these briefings, in addition to providing information and clarity, they've brought us closer together. They brought us strength and unity And an understanding, and General Avivi does this better than anyone else, an understanding that we can and will be victorious. These briefings have built a global community of defenders of Israel, people like you, people who are watching right now, who refuse to be silent, who draw strength from one another and stand firm in defending Israel. And now, right now, the week before Rosh Hashanah, it's a better time than ever to take the next step, to partner with us and make a donation today. Every single gift matters. Every partnership pushes our message further. If you're in the US, Canada, or Israel, your donation is tax deductible to the fullest extent by the law. And at higher giving levels, we've created special opportunities to recognize your support. You'll see right now on your screen, there's a QR code. You can scan that, make a donation. If you send a text message, send IDSF to 50155. You can make a donation that way. You can call us at the number on your screen, and we will process your donation. We will count you as a partner. Every single donation matters. I want to share something very special at one of the giving levels that we have. And I alluded to this on Thursday. General, you know what I'm about to show everyone. We have a very unique item right here. This is, I hope you can see it okay. This right here is a one-of-a-kind collector's item. This is a replica of the Mossad beeper that was sent off to Hezbollah a year ago this week to commemorate the tremendous work of the Mossad of Israel in really infiltrating Hezbollah in such a profound way. We have this beautiful replica of the beeper, beautiful certificate. It comes with General Avivi's signature, as well as a signature of a senior IDSF member and Mossad operative.
General of the Mossad that signed this replica is the mastermind behind the pages. It's a very, very unique thing. It's definitely something that is very, very special because we have a limited edition. And it's definitely worthwhile having this very, very special thing at home or give it as a present. There are some people who have everything, but this is something people don't have.
Right. This is absolutely, no one has this because it's only right now available. And we are making this available right now for anyone who donates at the $3,600 level. If you donate at the $3,600 level, you will join what we call the Guardians of Zion. You will become a very trusted supporter of our important work. And we will make sure that you get this one-of-a-kind replica of the beeper operation that the Mossad expertly was able to execute. And, it's really a tangible symbol of Israel's strength, Israel's resilience, and the determination to prevail, which is what much of these briefings are about.
When I was aide-de-camp of the Chief of General Staff, and we had once a month, we had like 2 hours with the Chief of Mossad, going over all the special operations and so on. And I can tell you that, these ideas, like the pager, it's something Israel worked like more than 20 years on these things. It's not something that happens in a day. There are concepts that are being built for a very, very long time. And really, I remember when people were asking about Iran, what will happen? Can we deal with them? And I said again and again that the capabilities and ingenuity of Israel and the Israeli defense establishment is beyond imagination. It's really things that are really out of the box. And yes, sometimes we fail, like we saw the 7th of October, but really overall, it's amazing capabilities. And we see them again and again against Hezbollah, against Syria, against Iran, against the Houthis. And in Gaza, it's a very complicated scenario. But again, We are already controlling 3/4 of Gaza fully, and now we are going in. And in the coming months, we'll be victorious. At the end of the day, we're going to win, as we said from the 8th of October, Moshe. Remember, beginning of the war, we're going to win decisively this war. And the day after this war, there will be really, really a golden age for Israel. And we'll have to really make sure that we keep this achievements in the long, long term. That will be a big challenge to make sure they don't rebuild themselves, and we really make sure that we keep them weak and continue the path towards securing Israel in the long term.
General, it's interesting that in those early days of the war, everyone was in shock, in tears. It was a really hard time, and you had this message of strength. And I think your message of strength comes from both who you are and also what you know, right? Meaning you have a deep understanding of what Israel is capable of, far beyond what most of us knew. So whether it was the beepers or what Israel did in Iran or what we've now seen Israel can do in Qatar, right? Even if Israel wasn't successful in the complete mission, the fact that they developed the intelligence and struck Qatar is a phenomenal capability. And you share all of this with us throughout these briefings to give us kind of an insider's perspective of what we can expect in this war. So, General, what do you think? Do you think people are going to be interested in this beeper right here? Do you think if we send it to them in the mail, they'll be able to present it to their family and friends as a nice gift?
It's a once in a lifetime thing. Really, it's unique, especially not because I signed it, but because the general from the Mossad that was the mastermind behind it signed it, and this is a really huge deal and something to be remembered. And we're talking about exactly a year ago that this operation was done. 5,000 Hezbollah commanders were hit instantly, and this broke the organization. It broke them completely. They lost all, willingness to fight. The success was huge, really huge, and it's definitely something to remember and tell, your children and grandchildren, and something really, really exciting. I spent a day in Miami, and then went to the White House and to Washington to participate in a conference. So I brought with me, some of these examples, and like the one day I was in Miami, people, like 15 people bought it. So yes, I think people appreciate, that this is very special.
And one additional thing that is unique about this item is the pager comes in a beautiful frame with a certificate with your signature, this Mossad officer's signature, and there's a QR code on it that links you to a video that no one has seen except for the people who get this item. And the video is of that Mossad officer telling the story in the background of the pager attack. So it's not only do you get the pager, you get a video that no one else in the world will see unless they too purchase this or make a donation to IDSF and receive this in return. So thank you everyone who's sending in a donation right now. Again, if you send it in through the QR code, you visit the website and there's information how to send in gifts. We tremendously really appreciate every single donation at every single level. 2.6 million times these briefings have been viewed since October 8th. We need to get that number way, way up to really have an even bigger impact on the world. General, let's go back. Let's go back while people are processing this and thinking about their levels of support. Let's go back to our briefing right now, if we can, and really just talk about the whole issue right now with Marco Rubio visiting Israel and what we can potentially expect to see as a result of that meeting? Is he coming to smooth things over? Something was hurt in the relationship after Qatar, or he's coming in order to prepare for the next big announcement in this war? What do you think?
Well, no, I think he's coming to show support amid all this, international pressure. Israel and the U.S. are completely aligned. And even attacking in Qatar, Israel doesn't do an operation like that without previous coordination with the administration. So things are coordinated. I think that there is one thing that really is an interesting discussion between the prime minister and the president, and this is the issue of sovereignty, because we see now, many elements in the government, and rightly so, pushing sovereignty. They're saying, look, they want two-state solution. We want sovereignty in Judea and Samaria. And the big question is, what exactly do the prime minister and the president want? One way to look at it is say, look, we need to first focus on the win in Gaza and bring the hostages. We have enough pressure as it is. We need to then really move towards regional peace agreements. And after that, we'll apply sovereignty. And another way of looking at it is saying, no, sovereignty is, this is the timing, they're pressuring us, this is our answer, this is part of the win, let's apply sovereignty now, even if it means undermining regional peace agreements, because it will be hard to see, Saudi Arabia moving towards normalization if we push now sovereignty. And there is no right or wrong answer. Both approaches have their advantages and disadvantages. But I think what will, at the end of the day, will really shape what will happen in the coming future is what President Trump wants, what's important for him. And I know that the administration is very, very supportive of sovereignty, and we must have sovereignty in the coming year and a half for sure. But it's my gut feeling that his priority is first win the war, then sign peace agreements, and then deal with sovereignty. Understanding that it will be hard to do this regional peace agreements, which I think both leaders need, looking at the upcoming elections, both in the US and in Israel, and looking at the overall big global vision, and regional vision, and countering China and Russia and Iran. There are many, many considerations here. And yes, for us, the Jews, sovereignty is above everything, for sure. But there is the global and regional also considerations. And this is probably the biggest and most crucial discussion that is going on now between Israel and the US. And I like, Moshe, maybe to take 2 minutes, because it's Rosh Hashanah, to send my message for Rosh Hashanah. We are, reaching the Saturday before Rosh Hashanah, Parashat Nitzavim. And in this parasha, it says, you the people of Israel, you're all standing in front of God. You're all going to be judged. And when the Torah says that we are all going to be judged, it says, who is all? All is the leaders of the tribes and the rich people and the policemen and the women and the men. And then at the end, it says something really peculiar to try and describe all of the people of Israel. It says, from the wood choppers to the well dwellers, the people who bring water from the well. And these are two very, very basic, simple jobs. How can you take the people of Israel and describe the whole people, the rich, the tribe, the head of the tribes, by saying from the wood choppers to those who bring water from the well? And the answer is that in God's eyes, he doesn't care if you are rich or you are the tribe leader, or a man, you're a woman. He asks himself on Rosh Hashanah, when we are judged, God asks only one thing. Are you a wood chopper? Or are you somebody who brings water from the well? Why? What does it mean? A wood chopper is somebody who takes a tree that has grown for maybe decades, nature and it chops it. It destroys nature. On the other hand, the guys who takes water from the well, he takes from nature, but in order to irrigate, in order to bring good to the world, in order to bring prosperity. And this is being good and kind and using nature resources for the best. And at that day, it goes, two ways. Either you are somebody who is negative and hurts nature and people, or positive. And really, I wish for all of us to be contributors to the well-being, of the world, of the Jewish people. And this can be done only through deep connection to our values, to our Jewish Zionist values. We have to be full of love, not hate. When we in IDSF operate, when I ask myself, what is the difference between us and many of our counterparts? We are motivated by love. We love the people of Israel. We love this land. We love our history, our heritage. And this is what motivates us to do what we do. And we love all the people, even those who we don't agree with. Why? Because they are our people. And we want to defend everybody. And we can disagree. We can, try to push our messaging. But it's motivated by love. So with this message, I really, really wish everybody a great, great Rosh Hashanah. And I promise we'll continue defending Israel and pushing it constantly towards victory, towards security, towards Jewish and Zionist values in the multiple ways that we do it, by educating the young generation, by building a huge grassroots movement that is now more than 60,000 members, by cultivating our social media, by doing these briefings, and of course, working very, very closely with the government, with the diplomats, with Washington and European Union, everywhere that we need to impact. Thank you very much.
Brigadier General Amir Avivi, always a great pleasure to hear from you and to be strengthened by your words. So thank you so much. Thank you to all of our viewers. Thank you to all of our supporters for tuning in to this briefing. And a big thank you to everyone who is watching now, understanding the value that these briefings bring to your life, the value that they can bring to others, and choosing to partner with us and make a donation. We will be back with you tomorrow, 10 a.m. Eastern Time, 5 p.m. here in Israel. Until then, stay safe, stay strong. Take care, everyone.